evening, friends. Welcome to the session. We are waiting for Mr. Ramnik Mann to join us. He's a political analyst who has been with us some months back, and he'll be joining us to comment on the Punjab issue and various other global issues. So I'm just waiting for him to connect, friends. So meanwhile, let me just tell you what is happening in Punjab. Now, the latest news is that, let me just also bring you the visuals. Yeah. So Bhagwant Singh Mann said that until every single farmer receives their compensation for the crop damage, he will not sleep peacefully. Discussing the complete plan, he ordered that a special Girdawari, which is a crop damage assessment, should start from tomorrow, and that is September 13, and the entire process will be completed within 45 days. And the Chief Minister also said that henceforth the farmers will start receiving their compensation checks in hand, adding that officers from non-flooded areas will be deployed in flood-affected villages so that the assessment work can be done quickly. Now, meanwhile, also his minister, we're talking about Mann's minister. Now, while thanking PM Modi for visiting, the state's revenue minister Hardeep Singh Mann said Punjab needs around 60,000 crores in relief and expressed disappointment that the centre announced only rupees 1,600 crores instead. And while the chief minister is saying he'll ensure compensation to all the flood victims across the state within 45 days. So it's very clear, because you all know that. Welcome to Mr. Shetty, and also Devasis. Welcome. Thank you, Shetty, for becoming a new member. And so everybody knows that the chief minister was a very important part of the AAP party, and he is more of a puppet rather than a chief minister. And everybody knows that he's not always in his normal senses. He often appears inebriated. So with such a man at the helm, we really don't know whether what he promises and what he will deliver are, going to happen as he, says, and we'll have to wait for that. So I'm just waiting for Mr. Ramnik to join us. Just a minute. Yeah. Meanwhile, talking about Nepal, a lot of things are happening in Nepal, which is rather strange. Apparently, now a group of Gen Z protesters on Thursday proposed a former Nepal Electricity Authority executive chief Kulman Gishing as the new head of the interim government. The group opposed the nomination of the former Supreme Court Chief Justice Sushila Karki, arguing that her appointment would make it difficult to reach a consensus, signaling a rift within the protesters. So this is very, very strange. Yes. So let me just add Ramnik ji. Welcome, Ramnik ji.
Jai Hind, Meena ji, long time.
Welcome. Yeah, long time. And so welcome to Ramnik ji, who is a political analyst and appears on various forums. So I just took over since I was just waiting for you, Ramnik ji. So I'll just repeat what we said earlier, that the revenue minister Hardeep Singh Mann said Punjab needs around 60,000 crores in relief, and expressed disappointment that the centre announced only rupees 1,600 crores instead. And while the chief minister has said that he will ensure that all the flood victims will get compensation within 45 days, and it will be done in a very meticulous manner, looking at the crop damage assessment. He said that henceforth the farmers will start receiving their compensation checks in hand, adding that officers from non-flooded areas will be deployed in flood-affected villages so that the assessment work can be completed quickly. Now, what we were saying is that, Ramnik ji, is that, see, I don't know how far we can trust this man, because earlier he was, as we all know, he was a part of the AAP party, and he's more. We always consider him like a puppet, as far as he's concerned. It's like Kejriwal controls him, and also he's not always in his normal senses. Often you find him inebriated. So I'm just asking you whether what he says and what he does he walk the talk?
Well, good evening, Meena ji, and good evening to all your viewers. As far as Bhagwant is concerned, you see, he's not been independent. Uh, he's not been able to function independently, especially after the Aam Aadmi Party lost the Delhi elections. So he has been under duress, and he has actually capitulated and he's given up on the Aam Aadmi Party's central leadership, which is not just visible by his actions, but is also visible by how the circumstances and situations have taken place in Punjab over the last about 6 to 8 months, with a particular focus on Punjab. The administrative setup of Punjab is taking instructions from multiple sources, including from Arvind Kejriwal directly, from Manish Sisodia, from Raghav Chadha, and also from the former OSD to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. His name is uh, Bipin or something, this fellow
Hmm.
would hit the lady Rajya Sabha MP.
Yeah,
So, what's really going on is that since Aam Aadmi Party Delhi government lost elections and Arvind Kejriwal and everyone else was rendered jobless, so they fired all the advisors and OSDs to Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, and then they placed their own people. So essentially, Bhagwant Mann is the face, but the chief operating officer of Punjab is Arvind Kejriwal. Let's put it to that. Now, as far as trusting Bhagwant is concerned, well, you were right about him being in an inebriated state. Uh, it is also evident by the fact that he has been in and out of the hospital a few times over.
yes.
And even yesterday, he had gone live from the hospital. And I have confirmed news about his health status from a doctor in Fortis Hospital who said that it is due to alcoholism. So his
Yeah.
condition is due to alcoholism. Cut to, I'll take you back to the time when Arvind Kejriwal had announced Bhagwant Mann to be the chief minister in case Aam Aadmi Party comes to power. He also promised in front of everyone that Bhagwant Mann will not drink alcohol from today onwards. He sweared on his mother that he wouldn't drink. So this is terrible for a very progressive state of Punjab, for people who are very hardworking, for people who are very passionate about their state. There could be 10,000 other things running in our minds so far as our relations with the BJP is concerned, or our relations with the Prime Minister is concerned. But when it comes to Punjab as a sentiment, when it comes to looking after the welfare of Punjabis all across, all 3.5 crores of Punjabis, I think that Punjabis actually deserve a better government. Not that we were not wise enough to choose a better government, we could have, but the current state of affairs is very concerning. It is pathetic. As a matter of fact, if you were aware, only yesterday one of the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs was punished uh, for molestation, along with six of his security personnel. And then there was a notice issued by MEA to the Punjab Speaker. You are on mute, Minaji. I can't hear you.
Yeah. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that, the molestation?
Yeah, the molestation case goes back to 2012. So there was a marriage party in which MLA Lalpura had actually molested a scheduled caste female,
Hmm.
and that case was on. And finally, the verdict came yesterday. And this is the filthy or terrible state of mind
Yeah.
you see with the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs. There was only a few days back, the only MLA in J&K from Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Malik, he was very abusive about a Sikh deputy commissioner, Doda, DC Doda. So, I mean, their conduct and the way they present themselves in public is not up to the mark. And like I said, Punjab will get an opportunity in 2027 to better the government or to undo the mistakes in the past. Let's hope for the best and see what happens next. So far as the compensations are concerned, you were referring to Aam Aadmi Party's Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann's press conference today. I would like to
Yeah.
draw your attention towards certain numbers and figures that he had given out. So, allow me to read them to you. He said that we were sent in 2022-23 208 crore rupees. This is relief coming from the center. And in 2023-24 645 crore rupees. In 24-25 488 crore rupees, and in 2025 up to date is 241 crore rupees. So I'll give you the utilizations also. So out of the 208 crore rupees sent by the center, only 8 crores were utilized. Out of the 645 crores sent, only 421 crores were utilized. Out of the 488 crores sent, only 27 crores were utilized. Out of the 241 crores sent, only 140 crores were utilized. These are for relief. Now, there is something called SDRF, State Disaster Relief Fund. So out of the 1,582 crore rupees, only 649 crore rupees were utilized. So, this is the sort of track record that we have. And then there is a Rural Development Fund, of which 8,000 crores, were diverted, were spent illegally, or they were not spent in the correct method by the previous governments. That's where he was commenting about his discussions with Piyush Goyal and his discussions with the former chief ministers of Punjab. So I think when it comes to 1,600 crores being given to Punjab, I also remember very clearly that the Prime Minister mentioned that it is an interim relief. It is an immediate relief which is being given. So far as Chima's, the Punjab Minister Chima's comments were concerned, he said that we would need 60,000 crores. There is another minister in Punjab, who's got Raman Arora. Raman Arora said we would need 20,000 crores to rebuild Punjab. But, Meena ji, honestly, if you look at the indomitable spirit of Punjab and Punjabis, यहाँ पे ना we have, when I say we, Punjabis, the Punjabis have come up with the idea of langar. And langar is not just for food, for relief packages. It's also for tractors. Tractor, मतलब langar tractors का लगा रखा है. There is a singer actor called Mankirat Olak. Mankirat Olak has pledged 100 tractors. He's actually given away 20 today.
Okay.
So the indomitable spirit of Punjabis all across the globe, irrespective of how you feel about Bhagwant Singh Mann, or how you feel about the Akali leadership, or how you feel about the BJP leadership, how you feel about anyone, across the political spectrum. But when it comes to Punjab, when it comes to the sentiment of Punjab, you can't hold back. As a matter of fact, even, we've been involved in relief efforts. So this is in our blood. So we do it for people across the world. Punjabis have been organizing relief packages and langars, God knows, everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So why would we not do it for ourselves? We will come up and stand up on our own 2 feet. But, this should come to us as a very serious learning lesson to how politicians play politics across the political spectrum. And there is a real requirement, there is a real need for a true Punjabi spirit to come forward in this very difficult and testing time for Punjab.
How has the flood affected the people, Ramnik ji?
Okay, so, well, there are 54 deaths, as the Chief Minister had given out, in terms of human loss. In terms of people affected, the population affected is more than 3.5 lakhs. As far as livelihood is concerned, agriculture, dairy, fishery, all other allied related businesses in those affected areas. As a matter of fact, approximately 2 lakh hectares of land has been affected by these floods. So there are reports coming from uh, Punjab Agriculture University that there are certain areas where the quality of silt slash mud, which is flown and deposited, is very good, and this could actually turn around and benefit the farmers, which the land previously was very badly affected due to fertilizers and chemicals. So this fresh mud or this fresh layer of soil could prove as a boon. But there are other very, very large areas where silt comprising of sand and other materials is going to render the land literally barren. So we'll have to desilt 3 to 4 feet, some areas 2 feet of mud. And I think the government should have been more considerate. The state government has announced relief packages, all right, but they've also announced equipment. But they've given only 3 months for the entire process to be completed. And there are going to be penalties on farmers who do not clear their lands beyond 3 months. So the human loss is one, the loss of livestock is another, the loss of crop is third, the loss of livelihood is another, and then there is schools, colleges, hospitals, social institutions. They all have to be rebuilt. Religious institutions, they all have to be rebuilt. Houses, businesses. So the in totality, I believe the losses will run into huge numbers. I can't comment really as of now because the state government and the central government combined collectively are trying to assess the damage and losses. And once the procedure, like the chief minister today said, that we've started off with the procedure of filing claims, and we'll give a week's time after the claims are decided if there is the objection. So it's going to be, let's say ballpark 1.5 months, as the chief minister said, that before Diwali we'll settle all these claims. And also we have to, be very serious about diversion of funds, because this is a natural calamity. This is a national disaster, and the NDRF, the Indian Army, under Operation Rahat, have been working overtime to provide relief to affected people. So the community itself, the Punjabis as a whole, have been putting in their whole effort, right from langars to for tractors, for langars to boats to transfer, and then langars for mosquito meshes, from anti-repellent creams to uh, medicine to aid to every, right down to Dettol and sanitary napkins and soaps and detergents. People have been contributing and people have been coming forward. Blankets, sheets, everything, from washing machines to televisions. People have been contributing to the best possible
Yeah,
to their capability. So the
yeah,
loss of the human loss is, the numbers may not sound huge, but actual damage to property and livelihood has been immense.
yeah. As you say, it's very true because it's the people in the end who help others. And what we hope is that there will be transparency, into where the funds are going, and the people who really need it get it. That's more important than anything else. And we know,
Yeah.
as far as uh, Man's reputation is concerned, I don't know how far it will reach the people. So let us hope. That's all we can say.
No, but then
Ramnik,
there is a
yes.
procedure of filing a utilization certificate. I
Hmm.
think it's actually wise and it will be good. The only way that you can ensure that the last man in the queue gets the relief which it's intended for is that the government and the deputy commissioners should be responsible. The
Yeah,
people who are assessing damage and people who are filing claims, they should actually, the government should file a utilization certificate that we've utilized these funds in this head, under this head, and this
yeah,
amount of money. See, ever since the DBT, direct benefit transfers, initiated, you see, things have become a little difficult for the politicians and the bureaucrats to steal the money. So but we should also ensure that the utilization certificates are filed in time, so that the intended or the targeted beneficiary should actually get the benefit of the scheme.
yeah, absolutely. Now, moving on to Nepal, Ramnikji, a group of Gen Z protesters on Thursday proposed former Nepal Electricity Authority executive chief, Kulman Singh, as the new head of the interim government. Now, the group opposed the nomination of former Supreme Court Chief Justice Sushila Karki, arguing that her appointment would make it difficult to reach a consensus, signaling a rift within the protesters. Now, look at the choices they have had before also. We're talking about rapper Balendra Shah, and now we're talking about someone who's completely unknown again. Now, the doubt is that, see, with the regime change that's happening, everybody knows that it's not the Gen Z people who are actually creating this. There is a external force that has been working right from the time of the Iraq problem, the Syria problem, the Libya, regime change. Then you had Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. It's the same pattern, and everybody knows that these people are not capable of burning a hotel like Hilton, into ashes, just like that. So everybody knows there are a lot of people playing behind the scenes. Now, my question to you, Ramnik ji, is that what is your opinion? What is happening, and why did the intelligence, not suspect this in Nepal even before it happened? Because everybody knew that this is going to happen.
Well, it was not quite literally the writing on the wall. There are theories which are running or which are doing the rounds. So I'll not follow any theory per se, but I've been very vocal about this for the last about 8-9 months. That there is a ring of fire being created around India. It was Afghanistan, regime change, Pakistan, regime change. Nepal has witnessed several prime ministers since 2006, 2008, ever since the monarchy was abolished and the Lokatantra, the Prajatantra per se, was brought back or brought in, I'm sorry. And then we've seen Myanmar, we've seen Bangladesh, we've seen Sri Lanka, we've seen Maldives. So these examples are before our eyes, and you've been saying it out loud that the next target for these people is India. And this is something I've been very vocal about, and I've highlighted on several television channels and several other programs over the last about a year or so. And this is something which has been going around the world. There is RC is regime change, and CP is change of person. So there have been regime changes, like you've mentioned, right from Africa to Middle East to countries around us. So there are several interested parties so far as Nepal is concerned. Well, number one being India, number two being China, number three being the United States. So this comes directly out of, visibly, the CIA's playbook, and there have been options that the CIA has been exploring. But I think one point that they forgot was that our cultural roots and cultural ties with Nepal are far deeper and greater and historical, because both India and Nepal are part of the same civilization. We have a different civilization from the Chinese, though, but Nepal and India are part of the same civilization. As a matter of fact, the head priest of Pasupatinath is from Banaras, and the head priest of Banaras is from Pasupatinath. So that is the kind of values we share with each other. This was known to me when I had gone to Nepal for the first time in 2000, to Pasupatinath for the first time in 2005. So that's when I got to know about 20 years back that this is how the cultural exchange happens between India and Nepal. And the largest education center for Nepalese has always been India. So, and to be very specific and precise, Banaras, the BHU, and before BHU, the historic universities or the education centers of India. So that was primarily for religious teachings, now for conventional, the regular education. So they were missing this from the playbook. Also, another aspect of the Nepalese army is that the chief of Nepalese army, general, they call it Mukhya Marathi. He is an honorary general of Indian Army, and the Indian chief is an honorary general of the Nepalese Army. And we have regiments, Gorkha regiment, which comprises of people of the Nepalese descent. or at least if people are from, let's say, Darjeeling or from parts of Uttarakhand, Dehradun, they are all Nepali speaking. They're all Gorkhali speaking people. So this is how it has been. And only recently there were huge protests in Nepal to bring back the monarchy as the effort to Sri Panchko Sarkar. There has been a demand to declare Nepal as a Hindu Rashtra and to bring back monarchy. And the concern that the former Prime Minister Oli has, that there should not be a change in the constitution, because the primary demand to change the constitution is to bring back monarchy and to declare Nepal again as a Hindu Rashtra. So these are the primary demands. So far as Sushila Karki is concerned, I think there has been a formal declaration. She would probably take oath some times later tonight. Uh, there is a place in Kathmandu, if you've been there, called Bhadrakali. So there is a building called Jangi Adda. So that is basically the Nepalese army's headquarter. So there have been extensive discussions, and then the army chief Ashok Raj Sigdel, General Ashok Raj Sigdel, has held extensive discussions today with the President Ramachandra Podel, and they've finalized the name of Srimati Susila Karki, and there have been rounds in the news that she probably may take oath as interim prime minister. And this is going to be historic for the Himalayan kingdom also, is because the Himalayan state rather, now, because monarchy is yet to come back. So the Himalayan state is because she is going to be the first female prime minister of Nepal, and she's going to be the first prime minister who would be brought to office by the Gen Z anywhere in the world. So there are a few historic movements associated with her, but the biggest, I believe, pro or favoring point in her favor is that she is known to be, and she has a reputation of being very, very strong and stringent against corruption. So she's a person you would never expect to get involved in corruption. So I think these are certain points. And then the Gen G also, because they were the playbook of the CIA got failed. Like I said, they forgot about India, and they forgot about the sentiments. They forgot about the cultural and historic ties and the religious ties we have with Nepal. And the sentiment in Nepal is also hugely anti-corruption, and a responsible and a stable government is what Nepalese want. They want a change in constitution also, and that will only happen when somebody who knows the law, who knows the constitution, and somebody who has an unblemished reputation of being honest, and who has a zero tolerance per se against corruption. So
Absolutely.
I think she fits the portfolio profile perfectly, and
Yeah.
she's going to be a very, very capable and able candidate who will be able to administer Nepal interimly and conduct elections as per the desires of the people of Nepal, so that there can be lasting peace. There would be no law and order situations coming up in Nepal, and the transition from the interim government to the regular elected government should be very smooth.
Okay. Now, with the regime change happening all in Nepal, and now you see also there's a lot of problems happening in France. Now, in India, people are speculating that this could also happen in India, and especially the opposition says that something is going to happen here as well. Now, what are the precautions that India should take? We all remember Shaheen Bagh and the kind of problems they created till the people themselves got fed up, and it got sort of dissolved. But India also needs to be very careful, isn't it? And Modi ji certainly is one of the targets, isn't
I think Modi ji and his government and the advisors of the prime minister have been very busy. They've been juggling a lot of problems and affairs over the last 11 years. Modi ji's tenure in no way has been easy. It has been a roller coaster, and the honorable prime minister has been living up to his reputation of not bending backwards, or not, except for one incident when he had to take back the farm laws, which were, I think, intended for the betterment and for the good of the farming community by and large. Had farm laws been in place, and had those insurance companies, stepped in, things would have been very different today. Compensations would have reached the farmers very quickly, and the farmers would not have to had to look at the governments to pay for their compensations. They could have actually started flowing non-politically through the corporate measures. Anyway, I mean that apart. When you refer to the attempts of regime change, when you refer to the attempts of trying to destabilize Pradhan Mantri Modi, the Prime Minister, and the government in the center, there have been several incidents, whether it was Manoj Jagrani Patil for Maharashtra in Maharashtra latest, or whether it was Manipur, it was Shaheen Bagh, it was the farmers' agitation. There have been several attempts. There have been several attempts over the last 11 years to destabilize. Now there is an allegation of vote chori by Balak Buddhi. So there have been many attempts. The whole playbook, which started with regime change, and now the attempt was to change the person at the top. So all has foiled. I think either the prime minister and their team has been very vigilant, like you said, the safeguards or the precautions that you need to take. I think the safeguards are in place, and I think there is good advance information that the prime minister and the intelligence community has been providing to the government, and the checks and balances have been placed. As a matter of fact, the I think the biggest weapon that the prime minister has with him is his own restraint. uh, in Shaheen Bagh, there was no shootout, there was no lathi charge at a large scale, there was no killing. Even during the farmers' agitation, the playbook, the whole toolkit was ready with articles to be published that police opened fire and people got shot and people died. I think the restraint also somehow has helped the government to maintain law and order and to control the situations internally. Cut to come to Bangladesh slash come to Nepal, you've seen the security forces losing temper and opening
Yeah.
fire. They have not been able to restrict or restrain to that extent. As a matter of fact, if you remember, uh, the then farmers leader, Rakesh Tikait and party, they were saying that we will get inside the parliament, we'll take over the parliament, we will have a Tetris parade on 26th of January, we will not allow the 26th of January parade to happen, the our day parade to happen. So I think there has been good management so far as the internal situation is concerned. Uh, Looking at how the government has operated and how it's still operating, how the prime minister has come out and has been seen as a trustworthy global leader, not just as a trustworthy prime minister for the country.
Yeah.
The way he has stood ground against the bully of the United States, how he has dealt with Pakistan, how he's dealt with Myanmar. We've actually conducted surgical strikes not just in Pakistan but also in Myanmar. We've conducted, airstrikes on terrorist targets in Pakistan, on military installations, on Air Force bases in Pakistan. We've obliterated their radar systems. So we have done what any responsible sovereign nation would do: take your own decisions, protect your citizens, protect your country, and by in doing all that, he's protected his own government and his own country. So I think the playbook of the CIA, which was, if you remember, the deputy NSA of US, the United States, was visiting India too often. He was meeting Indian politicians from the south and the north
Yeah.
very, very often. So there was a lot of build up on language in Karnataka, on language resistance in Tamil Nadu. There was an attempt to instigate Abdullahs in J&K.
Yeah.
There's, Manipur had been burning. It's settled now, thankfully. So they have tried everything in the playbook. They have not been able to destabilize the government. Neither RC has been possible, not CP has been possible. Both
Yeah.
have been obliterated. So I think precautions are already in place. Meenal.
Yeah. So now what's happened is that Rahul Gandhi and his party have stooped to such a low with, they've started criticizing Modi's mother using AI, to distort what is happening. And they have seem to have no qualms about it. uh, even when questioned, they are saying that, see, this is how Modi ji behaves. I mean, everybody knows that in India, mother is the most revered symbol in any Indian home. Only after mother comes anything. So the way they are attacking Modi ji's mother itself shows that they now, whoever had any doubts about Rahul Gandhi and his party are now going to forget about him, isn't it?
See, I'll start by saying this. Let's start with Motilal Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru. Keep counting, please. Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi Khan, okay? Rajiv Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, and now Priyanka's son. You know, so how many? Eight.
Yeah.
So from Motilal Nehru to Rohan Vadra, you can count how many generations. So was Prime Minister Modi's mother involved in politics by any means? Did she benefit from politics by any means? Does Pradhan Mantri Modi's family benefit from politics by any means? His brothers still conduct their usual life despite being Prime Minister's brothers. The whole issue in Nepal was corruption. The disparity of living standards between an ordinary Nepalese citizen and the son of politicians, their lifestyle vis-a-vis the huge issue of migration in Nepal. The family situations in Nepal are such that people would have to migrate, leave Nepal for a job in, let's say, Middle East, even before they complete their high school. And cut to in India, the Prime Minister has worked on citizen-centric policies. You have Startup India, you have Stand Up India, you have Skill India, you have Atmanirbhar Bharat. You have so many initiatives in 11 years. If I start counting, you have to spend the night together discussing how many initiatives the government has taken. How many citizen-centric policies, Jandan accounts, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, toilets in every home, piped water in every household of this country. We may take it for granted being in urban areas, but for rural areas where women had to travel 20 kilometers
Yeah.
for water, 10 kilometers for water. I've seen images of women, playing on their lives, getting down into a deep well to fetch water.
Yeah.
So the Prime Minister, I think, understands the need of the citizens and he's worked on citizen-centric policies. Cut to, you have somebody who calls the Prime Minister a vote shore. You failed in your politics. You're conniving with the CIA. You're conniving with the Ford Foundation. You're taking money from the Chinese. You have a MOU with the Chinese. You are hoping that something like Nepal or Bangladesh happens in India. When the regime change happened in Bangladesh on 5th of August last year, they were saying that today Bangladesh, tomorrow India. Now it's happened in Nepal. They say today Nepal, tomorrow India. So you want the Parliament of India to burn. You want the Supreme Court of India to burn. You
Yeah.
want the former Prime Minister's families. You know who the former Prime Minister's families are, to be beaten and burned to death. This is what you want for your own mother. I mean, what are you even talking about? And this is coming from a person. Let me tell you. They were making fun of Prime Minister Modi of his overseas travels. So Rahul Gandhi's overseas travels, if you allow me to read it out to you, he was in Italy from 30th December 2024 to 9th January 2025. New Year के लिए नानी के घर गए थे. He went to his nanka for the New Year. Then he went to Vietnam from 12th of March to 17th of March. Then he went to UAE from 17th April to 23rd April. Then he went to Qatar from 11th of June to 16th of June. Then he was in UK from 25th of June to 6th of July. Then he was in Malaysia from 4th of September to 8th of September. And now Shrimanji is in Sri Lanka. So these are 7 overseas visits in 9 months. And the year is yet to end. So this is coming from a non-serious politician.
Yeah.
After losing the vice president election, when he was asked by a reporter, what do you have to say about the vice president's election? He said, vote chori. So what do you even, how do you even comprehend,
Yeah.
trying and bring logic to this person? So I believe on 2 counts, इंडिया बहुत सौभाग्यशाली है. वी आर वेरी फॉर्चुनेट एंड वी आर वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट. हमारा दुर्भाग्य भी है. हमारा सौभाग्य ये है कि दैट वी हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग लीडर हु इज लीडिंग द कंट्री. द प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग प्राइम मिनिस्टर. Despite running a coalition government with 240 seats short of the majority mark by 32, he's proved to be a very strong prime minister, and there has been no coercion visible. There has been no uh, कहते हैं ना coalition की
Yeah.
मजबूरियां. There has been no
Hmm.
compulsions of the coalition politics that are reflected. He's been proven very strong. और दुर्भाग्य हमारा, the unfortunate part is that we have a very very unreliable and a bad, I'd say, leader of the opposition. So that's because we've seen Atalji as the leader of the opposition. We've seen leader of oppositions who've actually held ground and stood by the government when there was a foreign interference or foreign intervention in India's affairs. So Rahul Gandhi was the first one to jump and toe the line of Donald Trump and say that India's economy is dead. You don't know. So what do you even talk about
But
him when
see,
CRPF chief has to write to?
yeah, Ramnik, see, when you talk about the mother, what are they? Is he provoking? Because he's been provoking Modi ji all the time, and Modi ji has been silent. It's his decency. But why? What does he expect when he attacks the mother? What do you expect?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Have you heard the Gandhi family insiders? Have you read the books they've written?
Yeah.
No, you haven't, probably. So, Rahul Gandhi has been very abusive towards his own mother.
Yeah.
This is people close to the Gandhi family who have been house insiders who've mentioned this on record. That Rahul Gandhi has been very abusive. He speaks to Sonia Gandhi in a way which is not a dignified way of talking to his
Okay.
own mother. When Veena ji, you don't respect your own mother, you disregard your mother, you speak to her badly, you disrespect her, you abuse her. What would you expect him to do with somebody else's mother?
Yeah.
You expect any kind of you don't expect civility from people like him. So what they have done through AI or deep fake is that they have brought out their real colors and intent. And I hope, I believe, and I pray that the people inside the Congress party, the people who've been supporting Congress party for generations, realize that this is probably not the Congress party of Subhash Chandra Bose. It never was after independence. It is not the party of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. It is not the party of Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. It is not the party of Sarojini Naidu. It is the party of hybrid Italian Rahul Gandhi. And if you are loyal to your own country, if you are loyal to the Indian values, if you're loyal to the traditions of India, then you should actually distance yourself from this person and the way he's operating. It is very disrespectful. As a matter of fact, Congress party had taken a step backwards, and they said that the person who abused Prime Minister Modi's mother came from a different party, does not belong to our ideology. Well, is this your ideology? This is how you use somebody's mother demise, who's got nothing to do with politics, whereas your generations have been in politics. Motilal Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Priyanka, and then Rohan. What are you even talking about? Who would know Rahul Gandhi if his father was not Rajiv Gandhi? Who would know Rajiv Gandhi if his mother was not Indira Gandhi? Who would know Jawaharlal Nehru if Jawaharlal Nehru's father was not a rich man like Motilal Nehru?
Yeah.
So they are dynasts. They have a sense of authority. They have a sense of entitlement, and it is not earned. It's not earned. The Prime Minister has worked, sweated all his life. He was a karyakarta. He was a man who would sleep on the floors. And these are people born with a golden spoon. So they would not realize. Somebody does. Miraji, if you don't respect your mother, you will not respect my mother. It's very
Yeah.
obvious. So this deep fake
Ramnikji,
and this AI use of
yeah.
AI is only because you don't have the Indian values, you don't have the cultural values, you don't have the cultural seriousness, you don't understand what an ordinary citizen or an ordinary Indian feels about his mother on the
Yeah.
ground. How important the rishta of mother, because we refer to our goddesses also as Ma.
Mm, mm.
आपके पीछे I can see Mahakali. Is that Mahakali behind you, man?
Uh, that's Shiva and Krishna and Radha.
Okay,
But I have all the gods within my
अच्छा, okay.
house. I'm an artist as well, so I paint. Yeah,
That's so
very
nice.
true, Ramnik ji.
That's so
See,
nice.
also,
That's the behind
it's yeah, it's Lord Shiva. And Ramnik ji, see, as you say, people like Rahul Gandhi are absolutely not even worth talking about. Now, with the attack in Doha by Israel, when they attacked the Hamas people and they killed them, the people who are protesting are the ones who don't do anything for India. I'm talking about the Chief Minister of Kerala, Pinarayi, who was caught in this gold smuggling case and in a lot of other scams. And now he tells us that we should have good relations with the Gulf countries and not with Israel. Who is he to even talk about and advise Modi ji?
nobody, and I don't think anybody's taking his advice. See, so far as Israel and Palestine is concerned, come to Russia and US. I mean, the size of those two countries and the political weightage that they carry globally is far different from what the political weightage of Palestine and Israel is. And we are managing and we are balancing our relations between Russia and the US. We have trade relations, we have defense relations with both these countries. And before Donald Trump came in and he brought in all of his tariffs on the advices of the likes of Peter Navarro, and the other one is called Lieutenant. He's actually a lunatic. So I feel that such people are only playing to their own gallery. They're trying to
Yeah,
address to their own audience. They have a certain number of voters of a specific community whom they are
yeah,
trying to pull towards themselves. They all know they don't matter in geopolitics. Their weightage or their kad कहते हैं, their political size is nowhere to be measured. As a matter of fact, if he was to actually stand in front of Netanyahu, he would bend backwards to, lay down the red carpet for Netanyahu.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm telling you honestly.
yeah,
So these people only are trying to address to their own audience, to their gallery, or
mm,
to their own voters
yeah,
of a
count.
certain community, not even to all, because
Yeah,
there is a huge divide
mm,
between the voters of two minority communities in Kerala, the Christians and the Islamists. So they have to make a balance, and what they're trying to reflect is not the true sentiment of people on the ground.
yeah, absolutely. Now, my last point I wanted to ask you, Ramnik, is that it's very scary the way Charlie Kirk was killed, very close to Donald Trump, an influencer, and the way he was killed is, they've been showing it in different stages. It's very scary. Uh, we also feel that Modi ji should not go to America because these people are just, these killers are just running amok, so somehow America seems to be the most scary place in the world now, isn't it?
Okay, so as far as Charlie Crick is concerned, he was a rationalist. He used to try and talk sense. His whole premise or his whole idea was argument and to rationalize and to discuss in depth and in detail. Well, people who have who are short of logic, who are short of arguments, would actually turn around the gun and try and kill people they can't defeat or they cannot argue or they
Yeah,
can't compete with on an intellectual level. Cut to. What's important is that the United States of America is protecting with their taxpayers' money the likes of Gurpatwant Pannu. There is a government cover. There is a whole profile or cover provided, security cover provided to him on the U.S. taxpayers' money. So why could that not be extended to Charlie Pitt? So I think there is hypocrisy. I think there are dual standards. I think Donald Trump has not been able to be fair to his own gallery, to his own people.
Yeah.
Well, trying and announcing huge rewards to catch his killer is one part, but try to protect him with a fraction of that amount would have been very different. So that clearly reflects the priorities of President Trump in his second presidency. That he's more focused, he's primarily, or rather, his only focus is on his own family's, business wealth, and on his own projection as a great leader, which he probably is not. By the way, he's not been able to handle situations around the world, trying to claim uh, settling a ceasefire between India and Pakistan where he had no role to play. And then again, when he runs out of logic and he runs out of arguments, he imposes tariff on India. So I don't see much of a intellectual difference between the killer of Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump, because both have not been able to rationalize or to compete with logic or to talk sense into people. So that's how it is, and this is precisely what the Khalistanis do. Well,
So is
they've
this a safe
issued
place
a
for Modi ji to
life
go?
threat against me and my family.
Yeah. So is this a safe
I don't think the
place
Prime
for
Minister is going. I think
yeah.
for the UNGA, no, I think for the UNGA, Prime Minister has nominated the Foreign Minister to go on his behalf. I don't
Yeah.
think the Prime Minister is going to the US. Is he going? I'm
Yeah.
not sure. His program been declared? Prime Minister is going to US.
No, not as yet. Not as yet.
Yeah. So so far as I believe, the UNGA will be attended to by the Foreign Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, on behalf of the Prime Minister. So I don't think the Prime Minister is going to the US. As a matter of fact, I was a vocal critic of his visiting Canada for G7.
Yeah.
There were issues in Canada also, but I think the Canadians must have, or the Indian agencies would have ensured the correct safety protocols for the Prime Minister.
Yeah. In fact, there was a rumor that an American, was killed in a hotel in Bangladesh, and Bangladeshi authorities were not allowed to take the body. The US people came and took the body back to US. They didn't allow anybody to touch him.
Yeah.
So who was he?
So it is widely believed inside the circles that he was a CIA operative, and there were reasons for neutralizing him, and it was again coming directly out of the playbook of the agencies. So that's how it is, and to cover the real situation or the circumstances under which he passed away, the United States opted to take the possession of the body and ship it back to the US.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Bangladesh has actually become a vassal state for the United States, just like Pakistan. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramnik. I know you were
just
busy.
Like Pakistan, Bangladesh also seems to have become a vassal state for the United States.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. Good night. Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you. Thank you.